Hey there, Dr. Karen. Happy Sunday. I just made a discovery. Well, not exactly a discovery, but it was like one of those things where I was like, why didn't I think of this earlier? Okay, so as some of you know, I launched a jewelry line called Ascension 3 earlier in the year, and this is an example of this is actually a prototype. So this is actually a Swarovski crystal, and I was experimenting with, my logo, which I probably won't make this in the future, but I do love the cosmic circle and the beautiful bale. Pricey but gorgeous. So anyway, so what you can do with this is that you can touch it, hold it, and then tell it to do your bidding. In other words, what do you wish to manifest in the future? And for example, you may want to clear a city of negative energy, or help someone who's a family member who gives you permission to do some prayer and healing for them, change the weather. I mean, there's all this sorts of things. So the Ascension 3 jewelry has 5 separate frequency sets infused into it. And thanks to my friends at Energy Tools International, who are amazing brainiac scientists, they found a way of copying frequencies, and they can copy any frequency that you can give them a substance for. For example, so how we did this, let me back up a little bit. How we did this is that I have a 2 healing MP3, MP4 is called Ascension 1 and 2. It was from my Light Warrior Bootcamp program. So Ascension 1 contains multiple, probably hundreds now, of frequencies to help clear, and remove negative or low vibrational energies. So you can work on entities this way, you can work on negative emotions or negative thought forms or curses or implants and all that kind of stuff. So Ascension 1 has all those frequencies, so I call it a frequency set. Now Ascension 2 is called healing and integration. So that is positive morphic fields. So it's like downloading and activating positive morphic fields. And basically you use your intention to download whatever it is that you want. Now, of course, the frequency set has all the positive morphic fields in it already, and there are some actually that are new that I have co-created that are now infused as well in Ascension 2. So you can, for example, download the positive frequency of a flower essence or a gemstone, or the positive morphic field of already having accomplished something in your life, that you wish to accomplish, or what loves to upgrade and evolve almost constantly is self-reliance. The positive morphic field of self-reliance constantly evolves. So that is, as you wear the jewelry, it automatically starts, downloading that to you, and of course, whatever you intend for it to do as well. So it's very powerful when you do an intention. And some people are of the spiritual responsibility level that they actually have to take the effort to intend something. Now, it doesn't mean that if you just, have it next to you that it doesn't do any work. It does a lot of work. However, if you have something specific that you want it to do, you can then make the intention and just tell it what to do. Sort of like having Harry Potter's wand. There's a little practice that's required. It's very powerful, but you want to be able to wield that power and don't worry about it, do anything bad. It just, the frequency sets will not harm people, do anything bad like that. So it's just whatever's for the highest and greatest good. So for example, if I, say, hey, make it rain in such and such a town, say Portland, Oregon, but it's Portland, Oregon, if I say that, I see it in my mind, I give thanks for it. That's how you do the intention. Then the necklace is like a conduit for which those high vibrational energies can do their work. If it's not for the highest and greatest good for Portland, Oregon to have a deluge of rain, then it's not going to happen no matter how much you intend it. Okay, so that's a little bit about weather magic. So what I was thinking was that, okay, so people wear the jewelry, but not everybody wants to wear jewelry. In fact, some of my young people, who I absolutely love and wish to help the most, don't wear jewelry, especially the guys. And so I was thinking, how can I help them? And then what about children? And, what about on days where you can't wear jewelry? Like, what can you do? So I was thinking, wouldn't it be really great to be able to infuse water where you can drink it. And so I was thinking of charging a whole water bottle with it. Now this bottle here, which is, now this one's got my logo, but this one is from Flasca.us, and they have frequencies of love and gratitude already etched into the glass and infused into the glass. Now this is a specific frequency. I know mine has multiple frequencies, but I thought, well, gee, I could make something like this, you know, and infuse it in the glass. The thing is that the cost, you know, to set something up like this is, you know, maybe prohibitive, maybe not. The other thing too is it's pretty darn heavy. Okay, it's glass. It's pretty darn heavy. I love it, absolutely. You know, one time I brought this on the plane with me, and it's got this little cork, right? Because they didn't want to use plastic. Totally get that. But silly me, I put it in my backpack, thinking I could put it under the seat in a United flight. Well, guess what? The United flights have not that much leg room, right? So I had to put it in the overhead bins and realized I was thirsty. So later on went to get this bottle and realized it started leaking because of the pressurized, you know, cabin and everything. And I'm trying to get it out of the overhead bin, right? And it's literally dripping on the woman's laptop in front of me. I felt so bad. I'm like, I'm so sorry. And she just did not say anything. I was like, so sorry. Anyway, so it's heavy. But it's great. So when you're at home, I highly recommend glass. You know, glass is awesome. It keeps that frequency. If you use metal water bottles, I know you're going to ask me this, so I'm going to answer it right now. So if you use metal water bottles, the metal will actually disengage the beautiful structure of the water, unfortunately. So think about all the metal pipes we have, right? Past 200 feet of metal pipes, beautiful structured water like you get from a spring or, you know, running down the mountain stream, it's dead. It's dead water. That water does not communicate to your body as a healthy thing coming in your, so you're thinking, oh my gosh, what about all the water coming out of my tap, right? Not ideal. Sorry. Even if you have a beautiful well like we do, the thing is that, you know, the pipes are in these, you know, sharp angles, right? And the water does not flow in its natural state, which is this vortex, right? When it's vortex water, it has this beautiful structure. And then when you add onto it positive frequencies, you not only have this vortex structure, you have a beautiful love and gratitude structure in this case of this, right? So glass is really awesome because it keeps the frequency of it. And metal, not so great. So I pretty much stopped using all the metal water bottles that I have. And I did have one I really like from Vibes Up, which is still very, very beautiful. However, the metal started rusting and then I didn't know what to do with it. So anyway, so I've been looking for water bottle solutions. So then I saw this one, which is super pretty at Marshall's. Okay. So it's pink and it's got crystals at the top. I don't know if you can see that in the video, but you can kind of hear it shaking. So it's got crystals, like, oh, this is great. And guess what? It's glass, right? It's glass. So it's like, oh my gosh, this is so great. So I actually sent it for infusion with the same frequencies as my jewelry. And first of all, they had to charge me a lot more because it was so big, it just wouldn't infuse that easily. So probably 3 or 4 times what the usual cost is. And, you know, the water tastes great for sure, but on a practical basis, I went to the site and couldn't find it anymore. In other words, they're not making it anymore. And then there's plastic and, you know, what are the plastic breaks? And, you know, I thought it was a cool idea. And then I was like, well, it's pretty big, doesn't fit in your car holder, like all these things, right? So I was like, okay, that may not work. And by the way, I forgot to mention that the Ascension 3 jewelry not only has the Ascension 1 and 2 in it, it also has EMF protection frequencies, the Schumann Resonance, which Energy Tools International had spearheaded and created. And they have wonderful, you can check out ascension3.net. You can check out their really interesting study that you can see the brain scan from Dr. Jeffrey Fannin, who is very, very famous for this brain studies. Anyway, they spent over $30,000 doing this research. So they have their EMF Schumann Resonance embedded in an EMF transformer, which goes on your phone. And then they can show you that with the phone, without the EMF transformer, there's overactivity of the brain. It's damaging the brain, basically, if you hold the cell phone like this. If you have the EMF transformer on the same cell phone, there is no overactivity or heating up of the brain, which is very, very excellent data. And so those frequencies have been infused into the Ascension 3 jewelry as well. So there is some degree of EMF protection. Now, I still don't think you should sleep with your cell phone on next to your head. Please don't do that. But it'll give you some degree of protection. The other thing that that this has is the frequency of Hiddenite gem. Now, Hiddenite is actually pretty rare. It's like rarer than diamond. It is from North Carolina originally, the original Hiddenite. I got a tiny sliver of it because Energy Tools needed the physical substance in order to copy the frequency. So I bought it on Etsy for like 20 bucks, this tiny, tiny, tiny sliver, of gemstone, and they were able to copy the frequency. So that's in there. And then the last thing that's in here is the flower of life, the frequency of the flower of life. I didn't even know they had it, when I asked them, I said, by the way, can you somehow copy the frequency of the flower of life? Basically it's the geometric structure of all living things in all of our universe. And they're like, yep, we can do that. We don't know whether they're all going to play well together, but we'll do some research. So I paid them to do some research with all those 5 frequency sets, and they gave me the thumbs up. They said, yes, they go together. This is awesome. And they actually really liked, they actually had consulted another healer, which I didn't know, but they consulted another healer, and the healer's like, wow, this is good stuff. This is really great, and not, I didn't know who this was. Anyway, so I was like, okay, where's the dilemma? This is not going to work. It's not going to be practical. It's going to be way too expensive. And I got to use plastic. Who knows where it's from? Anyway, so that was, went down that road. Didn't work. Okay. So then I thought on another stream, I was like, okay, what can I do for the kids that obviously, the jewelry is nice, but it's, crystal is crystal, it's easy to break. Well, it's not easy to break, but if you're a kid and you're jumping around, I suppose on a, trampoline or something, you could break it, lose it, right? And who wants to lose a, however much, $7,500, necklace? So I thought, what can I do? So I talked to the people at Energy Tools and I said, well, I see that you can infuse different materials. And they said, well, cotton doesn't work well. So I was like, okay, we're not gonna do cotton, okay? Because it washes out, it doesn't last. I said, well, what about silicone? They said, silicone works really well. I said, oh, interesting. So I decided to make these silicone bracelets, because I was able to make them through this company. It's a US-based company. I do believe they make the silicone bracelets elsewhere, but they actually emboss it in US. So it was a balance of, can I get the style I want, the color I want, anyway. So I was able to deboss it. It says, harness your superpowers on the outside. On the inside, it says, I am free, I am love. And had to put glitter on it. So, and it actually has, glow-in-the-dark capabilities. So for the kids, they can actually, charge it up in front of the, light or whatever, and then turn off the light and then it glows green. So it's glow in the dark. And so I thought it'd be really, really fun. So I got a youth size, which was a little bit bigger than I thought it was going to be. So I was thinking, shoot, I should have got toddler size, because this is about 6 inches. So my wrist is 6 inches. So it goes on my wrist. Most women's bracelets are about 7 inches. Guys about 8 to 8.5. Of course, obviously not meant for the average man who doesn't want purple on their wrist. But today, I figured something out to match, to mesh 2 of my ideas, okay? Because we know from, and I actually paid some wonderful people in Switzerland to do some studies on my jewelry. So what they did was, well, I asked God, how should I ask them to test it? What they do is they actually put the material, whatever it is you're using, next to water, and they take photographs to see if it makes any beautiful crystal. So what they want to do is they want to have like a before and after. So before, what they do is they take plain distilled water, not charged or anything, and then they take pictures. And usually there's not much of a structure there. It just looks like nothing. It's like the water from your tap. It's the unstructured, dead water. So distilled water. And then what they do is they take whatever product you want to, prove that it does something, and they put it next to the water for X amount of hours, and then they retake the picture and they freeze the water, and it's very amazing. So a lot of different people have used their service to document the change in the water structure with energy medicine, with energy healing. Now, I heard about them from another company who has these little plates that you can put your, glass on, and you actually charge the water for 8 hours. And then they showed in these pictures a beautiful, crystal after 8 hours on this charging plate. And I thought, this is great, but I'm thinking 8 hours, that's a long time. So I asked God, I asked Source, okay, so I'm going to hire these guys to do it before and after. I have no idea whether, it's really going to make crystals or not. But I thought, let's get proof, let's get proof. Pay them either way, right? If it doesn't make crystals, whatever. So she's like, well, okay, I'll I sent her a necklace, and she says, okay, I'll put the necklace, I'll, have the necklace next to the water for 24 hours, and I'll take pictures. And I was like, no, not 24 hours. And I said, let me ask God. So I do some of my divine muscle testing. God says 9 seconds. And I was like, are you sure? Okay, because I know that's what I muscle tested previously, but I was like, this is an experiment. Maybe a little longer would be really great, right? Nope, 9 seconds. I'm like, okay. All right, so I gave her the instructions. I said, okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to have that distilled water. You make your intention, whatever intention you want. It doesn't matter what your intention is. Just focus on the necklace, focus on the water, and make your intention for 9 seconds. Stop. Okay, and then freeze. And she goes, got it, right? So she did that. And yeah, so if you look on the website, ascension3.net, you'll see the before and after pictures. So she actually was really kind. She actually gave me, because I only paid for 1 photograph, but she actually gave me 2 photographs, and it made a beautiful crystal after 9 seconds. And the really cool thing is the second picture she gave me was very unusual, and I couldn't quite figure what that was, why it seemed unusual to me. And the reason was, it was not the usual hexagonal snowflake kind of water crystal that you normally see. Every snowflake's different, right? It's usually a hexagonal structure. The second picture she gave me was pentagonal. Pentagonal. Now this is in nature as part of the flower of life. The dodecahedron has pentagrams on it, and this is part of nature. Okay, and some people are like, oh, pentagram's bad. I'm like, you know what? People and their, they've distorted, what's actually in nature, and then put a label on it that it's bad. So I asked God about that. That's really interesting. And so I thought, I'll look it up, So I looked it up. Apparently, pentagonal crystals are extremely rare. They actually found it in some ice chunk somewhere, and I don't know, goodness knows where, but it's really, really rare. And I was like, okay, that was a hint from the universe. Okay, Karen, your stuff is really rare. Okay, thank you so much. So I got this, right? So guess what I figured out today? I know you're just dying. I mean, I've been spending a lot of time with the backstory. All right, so I am taking a water bottle that I have that is light. It fits. Okay, I got this as a promotional item. All right. Taking this, and I am wrapping it on the water bottle. Ta-da! That is how you can charge your water automatically. Okay, so I do not need to... Now, of course, if you do get glass is awesome, okay? But you know what? For travel, this is easy. This is easy. Okay, so instead of giving this, $22, multi-frequency energy healing tool to your kid, okay, you can get it for yourself. And this is what you would do. You would just put it on top of your water, and you don't necessarily need to even put an intention on there. Like the gal who did, the photographs for me, she just put in the intention healing. Okay, and those are the various crystals that she got. But you don't even have to put an intention in it. It will automatically charge your water with positive frequencies. But if you want to, you can say, for example, say you have difficulty grounding, all right? And say your spirit's like, whoa, like all over the place. You're difficulty grounding. You have difficulty manifesting. You feel spacey. You're out of it. You bump into things. Okay, that's signs of being ungrounded. Or you're, physically ill all the time. Another sign of being ungrounded. You can go ahead, and I'll just show you. I'm going to fill... Actually, we'll take it from one of the other jars here, but I am not in the kitchen. So we'll go ahead and fill that. You just need it close enough to the water, right? So you're going to fill it like so. All right. Okay. And then, now in this case, I will make an intention and I say, okay. All right, so grounding. Please make me grounding water to help me become more grounded body, mind, and soul. Thank you. That's it. And then I give thanks. Okay, so now this is going to work to charge the frequencies of this water so we can go from, you know, plain water, like you've got it from the tap, plain dead water, to a form of structured crystalline water with frequencies. If you haven't seen Frozen 2, go see Frozen 2 because there's a lot of truth in that whole, you know, water holds memory. Absolutely. So there's some ancient stuff I'm watching on Gaia. I was like, oh my gosh, this is what God told me. You know, anyway, so that's Frozen 2. Okay, watch that. So this is that is like the low cost way of charging water automatically. Now, of course, you can say, well, Dr. Karen, can't you just fill your water bottle and, you know, just you know, make an intention? Absolutely. Absolutely. You can do it that way too. But for people that don't want to do the whole necklace thing or just want to automatically just water in, have it charge and not even think about it, this is the inexpensive way of doing it. So I think I've given up my quest to find the perfect water vessel, for now anyway, to charge because, you know, we did some experiments and understood that, you know, it was very pricey to have something like that, not only to buy it, but to then charge it was so much more effort and money. So this is the quick way of doing it, and you don't have to use plastic. You can use whatever you want. Will it even help metal? It will. It will. Metal's not the best ideal, but I believe it will. So if that's all you have, then go ahead and use it. Please let me know if you have this already. Please let me know the taste, because the taste will change with a change in water. In fact, I'll be interviewing Peter Schenk tomorrow, and he has wonderful spiritual energetic technologies as well. And what we're going to be talking about is AquaSync, which is a computer program that you can program specific frequencies into water and then use it to quote unquote treat yourself or to manifest different things. Okay, I do it my way, Peter does it his way, but you know what? It just depends on what you resonate with, or maybe you like both things. Okay, so it's super fun. You might want to join us for that radio show as well. It's going to be 12 noon tomorrow Eastern, and I will be putting up some video in my Light Warrior Network group, which showcases a couple of his AquaSync programs. And here's the cool thing is through the video, now it's not going to stay up for more than a week, but through those videos, you can actually use even a video that's recorded because the energies will travel, if you will, to charge water. But anyway, so I was super excited about this idea, right? Because guess what? I had to buy 200 of these. Okay, yeah, so 200 of these. So am I trying to get rid of them? Yeah, to some degree I am, okay? But I was like, hey, you know, you can wear it on your wrist, you can wear it on your water. Say you give it to your kid doesn't like it, you could put it, you know, and guess what? It'll glow in the dark too. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so if you have any questions, you can ask me. Let me just take a look at any questions here. Okay, great. Yes, thank you, Taylor. Kelly Ann says, soul food, alchemy as finest here. Thank you, Karen. Oh, thank you, Kelly. Kelly Jean, sorry, Kelly. Kelly Jean. Okay, hi, Sherry. Hi, Vivian. All right, so Pippin posting. I keep my necklace on all the time. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, me too. How about on a blue bottle? What do you mean on a blue bottle? You can put it on any bottle you want. Vivian says, that's cool. Alicia, hi Dr. Karen, I would love to purchase your Ascension jewelry. Please make international shipping available soon. Yeah, we'll have to take a look at it. I was talking to the post office literally a couple of days ago. Vivian says, can we buy those bracelets? Yes, please do. I have like 197 of them. Ascension3.net. Okay, so yeah, I was talking about, we were just talking about Canada actually, and sending something to my cousin's little children for their birthdays in October. And she's like, well, if you do regular shipping, it's going to cost, you know, $12.96. I'm like, okay. And she says, well, and then if you do the tracking, and then it's $62.96. And I was like, okay, that's a big difference. She goes, I know, I'm sorry, there's nothing in between. You know, so that's the problem. I don't know whether it's COVID related or whatever, but international shipping is really like this, right? So here's the thing. If you buy like $100 necklace, for example, actually I don't have 100. Well, okay, say you buy the polygonal. Yes, the polygonal, the very really cool geode looking one. I love that one. So that's our highest end one, right? And we ship it outside North America. If we don't track it, it's not as expensive, okay? But here's the thing, if you don't get it, then what, right? Then you're going to be bugging me to go, I didn't get it, can I have my money back? And I'd be like, well, you chose not trackable shipping. So no. I know it sounds really mean. But anyway, but then we're like, okay, trackable shipping, right? So if we're like, okay, trackable shipping. We can't always get trackable shipping to every country, and they will track it to the country, and then after that, that's it. We can just say it went to your country. You got to talk to your post office about not getting it, right? So if you paid $62 on a $100, product to get shipping and tracking, there's still no guarantee it'll make it to you. Of course, I can give you that choice, right? It is more work for the staff and all that kind of stuff just to figure all this stuff out with different countries. But we are almost at that point where we're ready to, to do some expanding. But let's just say that if I were you and international, I'd be like, pick everything you want all together, because that shipping is going to not make a big difference whether you do 1 bracelet or 10 or whatever, because it's shipped by weight and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, just my thoughts. On the other hand, of course, if it doesn't make it, then you're not going to be too happy. So we did have a poll, my Light Warrior Network group, just to poll where people were from and where they would like it shipped. And so we have, we're going to have to go by popularity first. So we have a lot of clients, for example, in Australia, for example. Then we may open up to Australia first and just see how it goes, right? If it doesn't go smoothly, we'd be like, okay. I have no idea how these companies do international shipping and keep their costs down. I mean, really, I really have no idea how to do that. Maybe they just sell so much that it kind of works out in the end, but I'm not selling 1,000 of these widgets a week. It's not that kind of store. It's very, very specific. It's a very specific clientele. So anyway, but thank you for reminding me on that. Okay, cool. That was my big thing for today, and I hope you have a rest of your Sunday to be totally awesome and happy, and I'll see you next time. Bye.